In today's show, Bitcoin price starts October down 0.7% amid hope for a final $20,000 push. I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis, including Crypto Capo. Same idea, 20,500 and then crash. And as shared here by Big Sheds, Bitcoin 4-hour bands starting to squeeze. And as shared here, Bitcoin has officially produced 10 consecutive red monthly candles with the September close. This is the longest such streak since the 2018 bear market, which produced 14 red candles from February 18th to March 19th. Each bear market streak has been longer than the last. And as shared here, if you had $1 million USD in your bank since 2015, the purchasing power today in USD, $700,000, Turkish lira, $140,000, and you can see the Venezuelan bolivar, only $2, while Bitcoin, $61 million. Also be sharing the latest updates from Plan B and the stock to flow model, as well as the DPC model, which shows the Bitcoin price projected to hit as high as $350,000 on October 13th. 2025. Also in today's show, Arthur Hayes says Ethereum merge is still not priced in and lays out the bottom scenario for the crypto markets. Also in today's show, billionaire Mark Cuban reveals the biggest crypto opportunities he is most excited about. That's right, in a new interview with Forbes, Cuban says that NFTs present a huge opportunity in the book industry. Also in today's show, top analyst makes case for Q4 Bitcoin and crypto rally as fiat currencies get crushed. Quoting the analyst here, we know Q4 is good. We know October is often called Uptober and Moonvember, and all these different names are out there. I expect good things, especially now with people seeing how their domestic currencies are getting crushed. They're looking for a hedge. It just takes a little bit. Deploying 1 or 2% of assets has a huge impact on Bitcoin, so I see a good Q4 from here. Also in today's show, we'll be discussing a $937,000 Bitcoin price. Is it still realistic after 2022's winter? Well, I'll be breaking down these price forecasts, including the crypto exchange Changelly saying Bitcoin may peak at $937,000 by 2030, as well as Robert Breedlove reiterating his $12.5 million Bitcoin price prediction by 2031, as well as a prediction from Telegon, who predicts a $618,000 Bitcoin price by 2040. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, turn on all notifications. Will Smith, that like button as hard as you can, and drop a comment right down below, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And today's episode is brought to you by iTrust, the #1 crypto IRA platform in the world. And do you know you can start staking Polkadot on their platform and start earning crypto rewards tax-free? That's right, you can buy, sell, and trade 25 plus cryptocurrencies, as well as precious metals, gold and silver. There are no monthly fees, only a 1% transaction fee. They offer institutional grade storage, and you can get started today and open your account with only $1,000. And by signing up today using my referral link in the description below, you're going to receive a $100 reward in Bitcoin, which makes this a no-brainer. So go ahead and set up your iTrust Capital account today, and let's get this crypto tax-free. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV, and this is podcast episode number 1062 of the Crypto News Alerts pod. Bitcoin failed to hold $20,000 into the September monthly close as one trader eyed a final comeback before a fresh downside. And right here, you're looking at the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin staying lower after finishing the month at around $19,400, capping 3% losses. The monthly chart failed to rally on October 1st, with Bitcoin down another 0.7% in October thus far, according to data from on-chain data resource CoinGlass, which you can see here. Now, dismal financial data from macro markets contributed to the lack of appetite for risk assets, and amongst crypto traders, the outlook remained gloomy. For popular Twitter account Crypto Capo, a return above the $20,000 mark was still possible on the day. This still to be followed by a dive much lower, as he points out right here. Same idea, 20,500 and then crash. And in this chart, it shows you Bitcoin returning to the $18,000 levels. And in another post, steady buy-ins worth $192,000 on exchange FTX, something which he argued could contribute to the short-term upside. As he shares here, FTX spot seems to be twapping again. Let's see if we get the last push to 20,500 today. And at the same time, Bitcoin looked apt for volatility into the weekly close, as suggested by the tightening Bollinger Bands on the lower time frames. As Big Shed shares here, Bitcoin 4-hour bands starting to squeeze. And the September close, nonetheless, continued a losing streak for Bitcoin, which now rivaled by the 2018 bear market, as highlighted by Caleb, senior market analyst at Cubic Analytics. Quoting him here on crypto Twitter, Bitcoin has officially produced 10 consecutive red candles with the September close. This is the longest such streak since the 2018 bear market, which produced 14 red candles from February 18th to March 19th. Each bear market streak has been longer than the last. Meanwhile, the macro story of the movement revolved around major global banks headlined by the worrying signs coming out of Credit Suisse. The Swiss lender's share price, having all but collapsed since 2021, had now concerns spreading to institutions such as Deutsche Bank, Unicredit, and even the Bank of China. As shared here, Credit Suisse is not the only major bank whose price to book is flashing warning signals. A failure of one of them is likely to call the survival of the others into question. And in a memo quoted by Reuters on October 2nd, the Credit Suisse CEO cautioned investors against confusing our day-to-day stock price performance with the strong capital base and liquidity position of the bank. And the events followed the Bank of England returning to quantitative easing last week in an unprecedented U-turn with inflation at 40-year highs. Now check this out. If you had $1 million USD in your bank since 2015, the purchasing power today in US dollars, only $700,000, in Turkish lira, $140,000, Lebanese lira, $40,000, Argentine peso, $30,000, Venezuelan bolivar, $2, Bitcoin, $61 million. Which ROI would you prefer? And as Plan B shares here, Bitcoin below 200-week moving average at 23,000 and realized price at 21,000, structural break of the 10-year plus trend or temporary macro-driven buying opportunity, in which he shared this poll. Do you feel it's a structural break or buying opportunity? I'm going to go with BTFD, with 61.3% of you agree out of 11,906 votes. And check this out, DPC price model quarterly update, October 2nd, 2022. Current projection, 22,000 with a range between 13 and 39,000. Projected cycle trough, October 3rd, 2022 at 22,000 with a range between 12 and 38,000. Projected cycle finish, April 25th, 2024 at 83,000 with a range between $48 and $150,000. And the next projected cycle peak, October 13th, 2025 with a $200,000 price tag with a range between $110 and $350,000. And before I break down next story of the day, Arthur Hayes says Ethereum merge still not priced in and lays out the bottom scenario for the crypto markets. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, all the major cryptos are currently correcting and in the red, with Bitcoin down almost a whole percent for the day, trading just above 19,100. We have Ethereum down 2%, trading just under $1,300, while Binance Coin, Solana, Avalanche, XRP, and Cardano all correcting and in the red. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes says that the market still hasn't priced in the significance of Ethereum's successful transition to a proof-of-stake consensus model. In a new interview with Raoul Pal of Real Vision, Hayes says that the Ethereum network is now capable of supporting a new ecosystem filled with new businesses and protocols, something that has been priced in for ETH just yet. Quoting him here, obviously the price of ETH isn't reflecting this right now because we have overriding liquidity concerns, but I do think, assuming that the upgrade continues to go well, you have these interesting things that are going to create new businesses for the entire ecosystem, which might not be completely apparent today. It might take 6 to 12 months for people to go, oh, okay, now I get it. These are the new primitives that are completely, they owe their existence to the fact there is this yield that I can count on if I stake my ETH. And the crypto veteran says that overall, the crypto markets are either at or close to the bottom of the bear market. And according to Hayes, Bitcoin and crypto are probably in a choppy phase near the bottom before the next cycle begins. Quoting him again here, I think we are chopping around the bottom. Do we hold 17,500 on Bitcoin? Maybe, maybe not. Do I think it goes much lower than that if it does break? Probably not. My whole thinking is like, okay, who's selling physical? We had a classic credit crunch, just like every other asset class. And then you think, who's gone bankrupt? The largest, most well-revered hedge funds, startups, and personalities have all come out to say they had some financial difficulties. So the only people left who I think could sell in size are the miners. And then you have to wonder, wouldn't they have to sell in size in mid-June when prices are even lower than they are today, when people are pulling credit and nobody can get credit? I just don't see that intensity, which leads me to believe that we are just chopping around the bottom. We might not be here for a while. We might be here for a while. That doesn't mean we're going up anytime soon, but I guess I don't know who else has a store over their head who has to sell today. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes, Crypto Hayes himself, just blaze some purple haze, eh? And before I break down next story of the day, billionaire Mark Cuban reveals the biggest crypto opportunities he is most excited about. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at $927 billion with $38.5 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. You can see this volume is way down, with the Bitcoin dominance at 39.6% and the Ether dominance also down at 17.1%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Terra Classic leading the pack up over 10%, still trading at virtually nothing, followed by Reserve Rights up over 10%, trading at 0.009, followed by Terra/Luna up 3%, trading at $2.49. It's not a good sign when the Ponzi's are the top pumpers in the market. And now checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the past week, you can see Luna Classic leading the pack up 46.5%. We have MV up 25.6% and RSR, which is Reserve Rights, up 23.4%. And checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we are currently rated at 24 out of 100 in extreme fear. Yesterday at 20, last week at 24, and last month at 25 in extreme fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That could be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Shark Tank investor Mark Cuban says he has his eye on multiple opportunities that he believes could be the next big thing for the crypto industry. In a new interview with Forbes, Cuban says that NFTs present a huge opportunity in the book industry. Quoting him here, NFTs as books, I think particularly for textbooks now, whether or not we can get the college textbook publishers to go along is another issue, but the idea of kids buying books for classes, the whole process of buying books. First, do you want new or used? Then lug these books back. Then at the end of the semester, because they are only good for the time you're in the class, you make a decision. Yeah, I'm going to sell it. How do I sell it? Do I ship it off? Do I take it to the bookstore? It's just a pain in the arse. And in a digital world, it's ridiculous with those as NFTs. Well, the NFTs allow you to apply royalties so that when the book is resold, the author and the publisher and whoever else is involved can get a set royalty fee. That means that the publishers who created the book can keep on getting paid. Whereas when there is a physical book that is sold and resold, they have to hope that the book falls apart so that they can sell a new one. So I think that's a great application. What are your thoughts surrounding NFTs for books? Let me know in the comments below. And the billionaire says that the insurance industry could also benefit from the crypto-oriented platform. According to Cuban, health insurance could be a lot more efficient and honest if it operates on a decentralized blockchain environment that uses two entities for checks and balances. Quoting him here, I think insurance, being able to very easily buy insurance in terms of the home, run type applications, and more complicated, longer to develop type things. I think things like health insurance, the whole process of getting a claim pre-approved or approved after the fact is horrible. Nobody likes dealing with their health insurance company. First of all, for pre-approval, you never know whether you're going to get pre-approved or not. Here it's like, all right, I have this need, the doctor is prescribing it for me, but I can't afford to pay it out of my pocket. So what am I going to do if my insurance company doesn't approve it? Well, with crypto, you could reinvent how insurance claims are pre-approved or approved by creating an environment where you have 1,000 validators. There's different types of optimistic rollups where you have validators and challengers, so you can train people to be a validator and pay them every time they validate, approve, or don't approve a claim. The optimistic rollup side of it, the challenger will say, you didn't approve this, but not for the right reason. Your training says you should have approved it. I am challenging it. So anything you are staking that you put to get paid for that, I get. That keeps it honest. That's just a crypto way of keeping things honest. So that type of application has scale, it has impact, and it is better in a decentralized, wide, and flat organization than a vertically integrated company. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Mark Cuban and watch this video he did. Billionaire Mark Cuban talks cost plus drugs and cryptos. Check the show notes below the video in the description. And before I break down next story of the day, top analyst makes case for Q4 Bitcoin and crypto rally as fiat currencies get crushed, as well as we discuss this $937,000 Bitcoin price prediction and if it's still realistic after 2022's winter, and we discuss some other bullish price predictions as well. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,400 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that bell icon, turn on all notifications, Will Smith, that like button, and drop a comment right down below. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. A popular popular crypto analyst is making the argument that the last quarter of the year could bring rallies to the digital asset markets. In a new discussion with fellow analyst Benjamin Cohen and Mike from Digital Asset News, the host of Invest Answers says that a number of fundamental catalysts are currently stacked up in favor of the king crypto and crypto markets. That's right, quoting him here, inflation has fallen. We don't know how fast, but we reckon with the demand destruction in place, it's pretty fast. We're going to get some good consumer price index prints over the next 2 or 3 months. Markets are definitely bottoming for the S&P 500, 3,500 points base for a floor, upside 4,800 points within 6 to 12 months is my take. And there's a ton of cash on the sidelines, $3 trillion waiting to be deployed. If the war stopped between Russia and Ukraine, that would be game on. In terms of the Fed, they talk a big game. They do a lot of jawboning, but do they have to bite? Watching the credit markets roiling like we're seeing now, after seeing the UK blink this week, after seeing Germany print, China saying very clearly they're going to dump the rest of their $1 trillion in treasuries as quickly as possible. That's going to put downward pressure on the US dollar index and hopefully help some of the other emerging market currencies. Now, the crypto analyst says historically, Q4 has been generally bullish for markets and sees a good chance of it repeating this year. Quoting the analyst here, we know Q4 is good. We know October is often called Uptober and Moonvember, and all of these different names are out there. I expect good things, especially now with people seeing how their domestic currencies are getting crushed. They're looking for a hedge. It just takes a little bit. Deploying 1 or 2% of assets has a huge impact on Bitcoin. So I say a good Q4 from here. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst that will likely have a bullish Q4, a moonish Moonvember, as well as Uptober here for this quarter. And to watch this video he did entitled DCA Live, Q4 awaits, check the show notes below the video in the description. But all right, now let's break down, is $937,000 still realistic after 2022's winter? And I would like to start with this quote from legendary investor Bill Miller, quoting him here, Bitcoin supply is growing around 2.5% a year, and the demand is growing faster than that. So to Miller, this growth in demand will be accompanied by a corresponding hike in price too, with a target of $100,000 being thrown around by some. In fact, similar logic was applied by Bloomberg Intelligence when it claimed that the demand and adoption curves pointed to a projection of $100,000 Bitcoin price by 2025. Send it. And speaking of 2025, Changelly, for instance, they say Bitcoin's average trading price will be as high as $124,500 in 2025, with the platform claiming it might go as high as $137,000. And fast forwarding to 2030, Changelly says Bitcoin might peak around $937,000 in 2030, with the crypto trading at an average price of $798,000. Now, what drives these projections? Well, there's a couple of reasons. For starters, most are optimistic about the value of the crypto scarcity coming into play. That's right, this is all driven by the Bitcoin halving cycles. And secondly, maximalists envision a future where demand for Bitcoin is endless. And that's true because Bitcoin has no top as fiat has no bottom. And finally, with the Bitcoin adoption rising by 113% annually, many believe the same will one day be highlighted by Bitcoin's price. And that brings us to Robert Breedlove, Parallax Digital CEO. For instance, he recently reiterated his Bitcoin price prediction of $12.5 million by 2031. And if you missed the episode I recently did covering this in great detail, this $12.5 million price prediction from Robert Breedlove, check it out on the screen. And fast forwarding into 2040, which is now 18 years away, we have Telegon, who predicts Bitcoin will enjoy an average trading price of $553,000 depending upon the market trend, and went on to predict our maximum price prediction for Bitcoin is $618,512 in 2040. If the market gets bullish, Bitcoin may surge more than our Bitcoin price forecast in 2040. Obviously, I feel this is extremely conservative, but I'd love to know your personal thoughts in the comments right down below. And I'm going to leave you with this, quoting Patel from Crypto AM. We must think about the long-term implications of Bitcoin and proof-of-work cryptocurrencies. Once mined, this will be the next main store of value, as gold once was. The halving is set to occur in 2024, and this will, by definition, increase the USD price of Bitcoin by quite a bit. For this reason, I believe this is the time to buy. Once the halving happens, Bitcoin will be worth at least $100,000. Send it. So let me know which price prediction you agree with or disagree with. Holla at your boy in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode, Thomas Wrights wrote, I really appreciate the update on crypto we are getting from you. For me, I think this is the best time to invest since the market is at a low rate. That's right, so keep stacking them sats. BTFD. Our next featured comment comes from BitBud. 52,000 to 42,000 to 32,000 to 22,000. 12,000 is next. USDC, the place to be last November, as I mentioned back then. Have a great Sunday, fam. Well, as always, BitBud, I appreciate your continued predictions. One love. And our third and final featured comment, short and sweet, from the legendary Invest Answers, who wrote, "Nice work, boss." Well, as always, I appreciate your continued support, fam. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop a comment below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that bell icon, turn on all notifications. Will Smith, that like button as hard as you possibly can. Drop a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.